I would say the biggest thing with assessments is to think outside the box. You know, recognize that not all kids' strengths are in writing or in reading, so giving them opportunities to show you what they know in other ways, like movies or plays or art.
And how have you done that in science?
We've done that with a lot of using integrating technology and allowing them to use like a choice board or a tic-tac-toe board. And so I'd give them 5 or 10 options, and then they would get to choose. And then their performance task would ultimately be the same. They'd have to show that they know these 5 or 10 things, but the medium through which they show that to me can be whatever they're the most comfortable with.
I've also seen in your classroom where kids have to do the same project, but you grade it a little differently, depending on their language proficiency. And I'm thinking specifically of the raindrop,
Yep.
the day in the life of a raindrop
Yep.
thing. Can you talk a little bit about what you do then when you get student work back that's at different language levels, and how do
Yeah.
you find the content?
Right. I think a lot of good ways to do this through rubrics, to giving you some sort of guideline and just recognizing that they need to use and show proficiency with these specific terms. And as long as they can show me that they know the specific ideas, and giving that to them ahead of time so they know what to shoot for is really helpful. So,
Awesome.
and then just recognizing each kid's strengths. So throughout the years you get to know them. You learn what they are good and what they are not good at. And so just kind of directing them too in their choices of their project based on what you know
Right.
their strengths are.
So even if they're really excited about doing something that you think is not really in their wheelhouse.
Right. Just helping them sort of choose themselves, but you're pushing them in that direction and making something else sound just as
Sure.
appealing.
Any challenges about assessment that you'd like to improve?
It's hard to grade them because each one is so different, and so even though one kids may look fancy and awesome because it's an iMovie, you know, you just have to be careful that you're looking at the content and not getting wrapped up in the prettiness of the project in itself. Or the opposite too, if the kid's project looks really horrible but the content is solid, being able to separate those two things and
Sure.
making sure the grade is on the content for the majority.
Sure.
So that's challenging. But that's where rubrics come into hand too, I think.